Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. My name is Mishka, and in today's video we'll be decorating this Mediterranean style villa. I put up the speed build video of the shell of this on my channel. That has no CC in it, but this furnishing section will have CC in it. I will be linking the CC on my Patreon. And I think that's all that I need to say about that. But because this is a Mediterranean style villa, I will be decorating with a Mediterranean interior design. When I saw the inspo for this, I was getting a lot of it on Pinterest. I was like, oh, this is going to be so easy. But then if it was so easy, why did it take me 4 days to decorate this? And this is like a relatively small build. I only ended up having 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms after, and I think it's mainly because I chose this lot in Tortosa. I wanted a place where, this villa would fit into the environment, and I also wanted a place with a view. Not that that matters in the Sims 4, but for the inspo that I had for this villa, there was a lot of homes situated on cliffs with overlooking like beautiful views. So I wanted to kind of capture that with this build. So that's why the build is a lot smaller than I actually wanted it to be. I was constrained by the lot size. And I built it mainly with the outside in mind. When I went in, I was like, this layout is atrocious. Like, what am I going to do here? So I struggled with the layout for a long time. I don't think I included this in here just because the video is already long. It's just 55 minutes of me decorating. Basically, which is also why I split it into two. Initially, having this shell build and in this together was like 1 hour 34 minutes. And so I also did not include in this video me decorating the outside areas, but there's not really anything special about the outside areas. I think the bold was what kind of made it special. But anyways, what we're doing at the moment is designing this outdoor dining room, and I think I will show a photo of what actually inspired me to make this outdoor dining room. And so I'm just trying to line up the curtains here because I've seen a lot, or a feature of this decor style is the arches. And when it was outdoor arches, like leading into an indoor space, there would be curtains on it, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyways, we've moved on to the kitchen now. And before I discuss anything further, I actually want to say or give a little overview of what Mediterranean interior design is. So I've just done a little bit of Googling. And according to Google, Mediterranean interior design is a style that's inspired by the coastal regions of countries like Greece, Italy, and Spain. It's characterized by natural materials, earthy colors, and a focus on indoor-outdoor living, which I think, we captured that as far as we've seen now. And then the colors for it is earthy tones like terracotta, light grays and off-whites, sea-inspired blues and brighter whites, olive greens, browns and blacks, and then pops of color such as understated pinks or lemon yellows. And then the materials for this kind of style is natural materials like wood, stone, and terracotta, textured walls, and then heavy wooden furniture, which we'll see a lot of in this build. And then the features are arched doorways, decorative ironwork, paintings, carved hoods, vaulted ceilings, terracotta roof tiles, stucco exteriors, stone details, carved doors, and then raw iron and metalwork on windows, over balconies and front doors. But I didn't choose to do raw iron on the outside of the build. And then the atmosphere that this build should give is airy and light, inviting, relaxing, and then laid back. So that's what Google gave us. And then I think I'll just also include my little Pinterest collage that I created for this build to show you what I had in my mind. Now, the reason why this build actually took me a really long time to decorate is because I did not want to do boho. And there are so many overlaps between this and I feel like boho, and then also like Moroccan oasis and at most times I was just getting so confused by what I was doing. And I actually, every room that you see, I've decorated twice. So I would decorate and then I would record me doing it. But then even when I was doing it the second time over, I would still change things, so many things. But it was just so that the recording of the video doesn't take me a really long time. Imagine having a week's worth of recordings to have to go through for this build. But it's wild that it actually took me that long because it really isn't that big of a build. But I think it was just unfamiliar territory, and then once again not wanting to make something that was boho because I felt like sometimes that's the direction I was going in. So initially with this kitchen, the kitchen was like a powdered blue, and there was a specific photo on Pinterest that I was trying to recreate. But I think that that would fit in a different kind of build. That, like if I ever do a Greek inspired or Greece inspired build, that kitchen would be perfect for that. But for this one, I was leaning more towards a rustic Mediterranean, but I also wanted lighter colors and elements to it because I just feel like the outside of the build wasn't really giving rustic. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so I kind of did a little mashup between rustic and then I feel like light Mediterranean throughout the build. And my rule for the build was I would use game assets and then I would use CC where the game assets were not there. Or they were either not there or I was not satisfied with what the game had. And surprisingly, I actually chose the stoves from Jungle Adventure because the stoves were actually, in my opinion, a little bit better than the one that actually came with a little hood that's over the stove at the moment. And yeah, so I then started cluttering up the kitchen, and I initially cluttered the kitchen so much that afterwards I realized, oh, but you don't even have any prep space. So I removed some of the clutter, which I don't know if I show in this video. But yeah, anyways, I just want to go back to the dining room for a minute. And for the dining room, like I said, I was initially inspired by the photo. And the reason why I started with the dining room is because that photo is what inspired me to do this build. And then everything else kind of went around it. And I've never built something Mediterranean with a Mediterranean style or anything like that. So this was my first time doing this kind of build. And like I said, it was daunting, but I think I got it to a place where I really like it. And um would I choose to do it again? I probably would, but I would do something that was more colorful because in this build there's not a lot of color that I usually use. Like maybe I would have done more of the pinks and the lemon pops of color, which they were speaking about in the description or the Google description. But for this build, I mainly did oranges, blues, browns. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of browns, and then green. Because if you've ever seen inspo for Mediterranean bowls, you would know that green plants are everywhere. They are everywhere. You can never have enough plants. And so another rule in this build is that, if I had any doubt about certain decor that I wanted to place, when I was in doubt, I would put a plant. Yeah. So, and then just want to mention something else about the backsplash. So that black backsplash is from Suki. It's CC, and initially you can see I have the green color, but I decided to tone it down into a white. So you'll see that in the screenshots that I'll include in the end. And then I decided to place windows because I wanted to create that indoor outdoor space, and so I placed windows in the corner of the kitchen, which you will see. So for what I'm doing now is I'm trying to create a built-in breakfast nook. Since we have that like big dining room that I built in the beginning, I was like, okay, let me include, instead of another dining room in the inside, let me include a breakfast nook. Now, the thing with a breakfast nook is you can't ordinarily build a breakfast nook unless you use those, forgive my language, ugly couches from Dine Out. Then you would be able to maybe build something that looks like a breakfast nook, but also those are too big for the space that I had. And you also have the one from the Cozy Bistro kit, but that also was too big for the spaces that I have. So I created this breakfast nook from, I used cabinets, which was the base game kitchen cabinets that we just got with the update. And then I used this bench from Plush Pixels, which if you've never seen their CC, check it out, guys. Such good CC. And then for the pillows on the top, I think that is from Purism. I could be wrong. So I placed that in the basement first and then raise it up into the main kitchen room thingy. I don't know what you want to call it, or into the breakfast nook area, let's say that. So I raise it up so that when I place down the table and the chairs, it would be as if those things are not there. So your sim would still be able to sit down at the table, but instead of sitting on those chairs, they will now be sitting on the little custom benches that I created. And so the only issue is I did go in and amend this so that you can see like a little sliver of the chairs through the bench so that you can choose to place your sims there. But if that wasn't there, your sims would have to choose themselves to go there, because you wouldn't be able to select the table for them to go and sit at it. And then there was something else that I wanted to say about this. Oh, yes. So obviously, because those cabinets and the benches are there, and it's as if they're going to go and sit on the chair, or it's as if, those things are not in that space because I raised them up from the basement, your sims will walk through them to go and sit on the chairs. Now, if you have no issue with that, then I don't have any issue with that. I just wanted it to look as if they are sitting at this and having breakfast. But they will clip through and walk through the couch, or the bench and the cabinets to get where they are going. So just take note of that if you do decide to download the bold. If that's not something that bothers you, then that's great. So I was gonna place a curtain here, but I decided against it just because I didn't want to clutter up the place. Even though those ones from the paranormal stuff pack look really nice, I decided against it at the end, and I think I removed the curtain. And so I'm just gonna clutter up the rest of this breakfast nook. Like I said, where I was in doubt, I placed a plant, and yeah, I think that is all for the breakfast nook really. And then I decided to change the colors of the lights so that it was a little bit darker. Now I do make quite a few changes in this little lounge section. This is where I decide to place the arches. That arch from Jungle Adventure is nice. It's a nice arch, but it just wasn't giving me the look that I wanted. So I used this. It's like a modular arch from Peacemaker, I think, yes. And then this is actually in the wall art category. So I had to use a arch in the doors category to create the space and then place this wall arch over it. And yeah, I was glad I did that because it really gives the look that you will see in a lot of the Mediterranean style bulbs. Yeah, so I then also place it down the hallway, which you will see a little bit later. And that which I placed in the window was actually the I think it's a door arch from the Oasis courtyard kit. I think that's what it's called. I just wanted to create some nice details on the windows, but I didn't do it for any of the front windows because I didn't feel like it matched the outside of the build. I was also trying not to mess up the outside of the build too much, just to keep it like what it was looking, because I actually did like how it looked, but it did suit the back side of the bowl. Yeah, it did suit that side of the bowl where the pool is. It didn't look too out of place, but when I was putting it on the front windows, it was kind of looking a little bit out of place. And also, from my past video where I post the shell, I do think the shell did change a little bit. For example, on the at the back, I think window is moved, and then also I placed extra columns on the section that comes out from the top floor. I think I'll maybe point it out when it comes up, but yeah. And then, oh yes, I forgot to mention, in the kitchen you only see me making the island out of 4 pieces, but I actually ended up extending the island because there was so much dead space in the start of the kitchen. There you can kind of see it, that I didn't know what to do with, and so I decided to extend out the island space to make it a little bit larger. But you know what I was also trying to create? I was trying to create like a where there would be chairs on the one side and then chairs on the other side as well. But we don't have any island pieces like that. And so I decided, that I was just gonna have the 2 chairs on the other side, because it looks really weird if you try and create that corner section where you could have 2 on the one and then 2 on the other. And I also didn't have the space for that. So I just thought, let's make the 2 chairs on the other side. So we've now moved to the living room, and in the living room, I wanted it to be really cozy, and I placed the couches this way so that it is kind of like your Sims are looking at the view on the outside. But those things doesn't really matter in the Sims 4. And I used the couches from Snowy Escape, and then I used this pillows is again the same that I placed in the buffet, not the buffet table, the breakfast nook, but I think I do end up removing those pillows, which I don't understand why, because I do move them into a spot where they look a lot better than they are looking at the moment. But I was just kind of going through all of the CC cushions that I have, and yeah, there I move it into a better spot, which looks really good. But I think I end up removing it and then just placing pillows on my own. That pillows are from Sibilette. I really like the colors of those pillows. I think even the swatch in the blue swatch would have been nice for this build. But I decided to just do the oranges in the living room. I think I did end up adding like color afterwards, like blue and pink, like one pillow is pink. And that, just going back to the pink thing, because there is like a lot of, I know I didn't show a lot of the outside of the bowl in the beginning of this video, but you'll see there's a lot of pink flowers everywhere. And so one thing that was kind of messing me up throughout decorating the bowl was, oh, but these pink flowers are not making it inside. Like the inside is very dark for the inviting and pink and girly florals on the outside. And so that was like playing in my head. And then I just told myself, absolutely no one cares. Like, move on. And I did try to change the flowers on the outside from pinks to like greens and oranges, and it just wasn't giving. Like, it wasn't giving, and I thought that would be a controversial decision. I felt like I was gonna get maybe like one comment being like, why did you change the pink flowers? Because it would have been something, or it was going to be something that I was going to do at the end of the video to kind of reflect what is going on in the inside. But I really don't think now, in hindsight, I don't think it matters all that much what the decor style is on the inside and the colors that I've been using on the inside. So yeah, and then I just want to mention this again. Those things that I placed on the table is from Plush Pixels, as well as the ottomans, and that cabinet is also from Plush Pixels. If you have never seen their CC is so good, and I also don't think their CC is that takes up that much space, which is something I'm currently having a problem with on my laptop. which is why I record the way that I do, like by laying out the build first and then recording what I'm doing so that I do not take up that much space, because videos actually take up a lot of space. Once I started recording for YouTube, because I've only started doing long form since January, I've only ever posted shorts or like maybe like 2-minute videos on the other apps that can take 2-minute videos, because currently shorts only still takes 30 seconds. And so now I'm realizing like, I don't have space on this laptop. I really don't. And I'm struggling out here because I have to make a video and then immediately delete. But yes, back to what I was saying, Plush Pixels, a really good CC creator. I think the CC that I use throughout this build are from creators that I all vouch for. Their CC is amazing. And so definitely recommend. And yeah, I don't think I do much more in this living room. I think it's just my indecision that keeps me going. But for this lights that I'm gonna place down, because I placed down those wall art, or the wall arches, it's now the new wall basically. So I had to move the lights forward so that they look like they are on the wall and not in the wall, if that makes any sense. So I use the tool mod to do that, just to move it a little bit forward and then raise it up to where I wanted to place it. And those lights are from the Oasis Courtyard kit, which is a really good kit. I bought it during this build because I thought it would assist me, and it does. I used it a lot throughout, but it also aided my confusion of whether this build was now looking more Moroccan Oasis, like a Moroccan design, than it was Mediterranean, but I don't think it did. Also, the table that I use, the coffee table, is from Oasis as well. And then the lights are from Jungle Adventure. I really like these candle lights from Jungle Adventure. I think it's made like several appearances in all of my builds. And throughout this build, I use it as like a general light because it was the one that I liked the most. It was the one that I thought fit the most with the build. But I did go back and forth a lot of times. Like, I feel like I placed it down and then I would remove it. And yeah, but in the end, I would choose it again and again and again because it just did fit the build. Like here, you can see I place it down and now I'm deciding, okay, but you know what? I want something a little bit more dramatic. So if you looked in the previous clip, I had a chandelier there. I removed the chandelier and then tried to find another light because I was so indecisive when it came to the lights. That is not the final light. As you can see, I placed the chandelier back because I liked how that looked. And that is probably the reason why this build took as long as it did, because I was deciding most of the time I would do something, then I would be like, no, I don't like that. And then I would correct it, but I would correct it in between clips so I would not record the correction. And so just know that, some things did go back and some things definitely did change since I recorded this. But all the photos at the end are from when I finally finished the build. Like I play tested it also. I can confirm that that buffet table, or I keep on calling it the buffet table, but the breakfast nook does work. It does work. And then every other part in this build works. Yeah, I had to play test it because, like I said, the space on the inside, the layout on the inside was not great. And it's probably because, why did I need this dramatic hallway? Just for the vibes. Honestly, I just wanted to, there was this one photo that I really liked. And so that was what I was trying to recreate. This that's always actually my favorite part of the build, and maybe like the bathroom that is upstairs. I wish I had more space for that bathroom, but I do also place a bathroom. If you look on it's my left, So on the left through that door is a bathroom, but I didn't show the recording of that. I don't feel like the bathroom was anything special. So I didn't include that in the video. Otherwise, we would have been here for over an hour if I did include that bathroom. It's a very small bathroom, and there you can kind of catch a glimpse of it. And so this is the first room downstairs, and I chose to go with, initially I do like oranges here, but I then changed it and made it blues, because I realized that I wasn't doing a lot of other colors throughout. It was all just giving orange, brown, beige, and green plants basically. So I decided afterwards to include the this blue bedroom, but it's a very muted blue, I would say. Yeah, so and then I saw a lot of inspo with the arch on the back of the or at the back of the bed, and almost like a headboard vibe. And then also like the bedding is very relaxing, sometimes like messy, and there's lots of pillows everywhere in these rooms. So I was trying to create that vibe, but I had very limited space, and I wanted to make sure that there was at least 3 bedrooms in this villa. I wouldn't say that this house is for Sims living here on a daily basis. I think it would fit better as a vacation rental or as a vacation home, like a summer home, because I didn't place things in here that would make it um, appropriate for, not appropriate, but that's not the word I'm looking for, but suitable, let's say suitable for Sims day-to-day living. It's, yeah, like I don't think it does suit that, because one, I didn't place any planters anywhere, which would be, this would be the perfect bulb for it to be like someone who loves plants or flower arranging, because there's so many plants everywhere. And then also I don't have a dedicated study. I did find like an area upstairs to kind of make a little working nook with a laptop and a desk and so on. I also feel like this would have been a good build for a laundry room, because my idea would be is that, you know, you're on vacation, you, or if you lived here, it would be a good idea for a laundry room to be included, because you're here for the summer and then you're going down to the beach and going to the pool, and the laundry room would just be suitable. But I didn't place that here, just because, like I said, space was limited, and I did not create any, what was I gonna say? The main or the master bedroom, whatever you want to call it, the main bedroom, does not have a bathroom, because I wanted it to be big. And if I did that, it would have cut off the room. But I'll explain a little bit more about that when we get there. Like I mentioned previously, I said that some aspects of the build on the outside changed, and that is, for example, like these columns. There was initially only 2, but afterwards I decided, oh, but it actually looks better with 4. So I placed 4 down, or 2 extra down, and yeah, I think it looks a lot better than what it did. So if you did download the no CC version of this shell, then I mean, I would say place 2 more columns at the back, because it looks really good. So now I'm just deciding on the upstairs living room. So, you know, I did say that there was no space for certain things, but I did also create 2 living rooms. But I wanted a living room with a TV so that the Sims would have some things to do. So this is like a less formal living room than the bottom one, which in hindsight, why would you have a less formal room in a house that is perfect for a vacation rental? It's okay, you know, this is the more comfy room. This is the room you come to at night to watch movies with the family while you're on holiday. I don't know. Yeah, so that's what I tried to do here. And I was going to mention something now that caught my eye, but I completely forgot about it. Okay, but I'll speak about this part over on the right. Initially, there was a balcony, but I needed the space, so I made it only one tile long and decided to just kind of scrap the balcony idea because what can you do with one tile? Absolutely nothing. So I made it this nice window situation, I guess, and it looks really, really nice from the outside. I say nice a lot, but that's the only word that's coming to mind at the moment. Yeah. And then, oh yes, it just came into my mind what I was going to say. I did include some activities on the outside areas, which I did not show that I decorated. So on the balcony that's on the left, there is a easel, an art easel on the outside. I think it would be nice to look on the ocean or look at the ocean and paint. I've never done it before, but it sounds like a good idea to me. And then on the other balcony, that balcony, I was not sure what I wanted to do. And so I just put meditation poofs there and then a yoga mat so that you can kind of, I don't know, look at the sea while you're doing yoga or meditating and feel the breeze because it also has like a lot of arches on the outside. I think, did I mention that was a balcony? It's a balcony from the main bedroom where I place the meditation poofs and stuff. I didn't want to place another seating area because I just feel like there's a lot of seating areas over here. And yeah, and if you want to, if you download the build, I mean, you're more than welcome to convert that seating area into anything. I think I was stuck initially on whether it should just be architectural and then not functional and then, you know, not have anything move or not have any way to get to that balcony. But I decided because the space inside of the build is kind of awkward, it would be best to have outside areas that were functional and to not have it be just like architectural or for the look of the build. And yeah, so with this top section, like I said, I wanted it to be very cozy. Once again, trying to create that feel of like relaxation, which is very common with Mediterranean interior design. And you'll always see in the living room inspo for them, they have a lot of pillows everywhere. In some of them, they have a lot of pillows on the floor, and so I was trying to create that more so in this top section of the build, because yeah, like I said, this is supposed to be a cozier alternative to the one downstairs, and I think I would definitely choose this for the nighttime as opposed to the one that's downstairs. Depending on obviously the weather. What is the weather like in Tortosa? I don't know. I've never played in the in Tortosa before. Um, so I don't really know what the weather is like. But just going to the walls in the Sims 4. In deciding where to place this bulb, which a large part of where I placed the bulb is why the lot was so awkward in the end to work on. I think I may have mentioned it a little bit in the beginning of the build or in the beginning of this video. But my two worlds that I thought that this build would fit the most with was Oasis Springs and then Tortosa. But with Oasis Springs, even though that's exactly the style of builds that you'll see in that upper area with Oasis Springs, it didn't have views. It didn't have the view that I wanted. So that's why I did place it in Tortosa. But the lot sizes are really small in Tortosa, which doesn't really make sense for me with a wedding game pack. But then again, it was a game pack, so you know we usually get smaller worlds with game packs. But that doesn't mean that we get smaller lot sizes. But the lot sizes have been really small in the most recent packs. And if I'm not mistaken, even though Wedding Stories was before my time playing The Sims, it was not too long ago. It was not very long ago. And I have seen, as I've acquired more and more packs, I have seen that there is a decrease in not only lot sizes, but obviously world sizes, which is sad. But then again, I would rather take a functioning game over a broken one. That's kind of weird to say at the moment since there are many bugs in the game. But as someone who doesn't do a lot of gameplay, I'm not too affected by that. But for someone else who does, it's sad. There is still a few families that I do play with that I'm attached to, that if I lost them, I would be really upset. But yeah, anyways, back to what we were doing in the build. I am just rambling at the moment because I was thinking, what am I going to say for 56 minutes? But I think this will get easier because I watch I just said back to the bold, but now I'm speaking about other things. But I'll get back to the bold in a minute. I watch a lot of Jessica Pye. If you've never watched her, she's so cute. I love her bolds, and she kind of inspired me to do these kind of videos. And I always wondered to myself, how is she so comfortable speaking for so long? And like you just like never feel like she runs out of things to say. So I was wondering, how am I going to do that? But I want to do these kind of videos because sometimes I feel like what I do in the build needs some explaining, what changes I make and why I decide to go with something and not something else, that I need to understand. I not need to understand, I need to explain. I would love to, be able to build and explain at the same time, but it's not something that's in my future, I think, because I did try it with my I was furnishing the Blue Victorian, and I tried to record and build at the same time. It was a disaster, and it took me about 4 hours. So what am I going to do with 4 hours of recording? And then I'm still learning to how to do transitions, like when you're talking and so on, so that it looks seamless, like it looks like nothing has gone wrong or that you've cut nothing out. So it's just like, nah, it's probably not gonna work. Maybe I'll try it, but for now, I'm easing into things. So just explaining a little bit of what I've done. I obviously did the living room, and then I wanted to place the island living curtains in the living room, but I didn't like how or where it was sitting, the curtain. So I just raised it up with the tool mod, and then I created, like you see, the little section that I was referring to with the computer and so on. I don't know who would want to use a computer when they are in a place like this, but for the Sims, it may be necessary for certain things to have that, depending on how you choose to use this build, obviously. So, and I didn't know what else to place there. It would have been a chair and a plant. It would have been a chair and a plant if it was not going to be a what do you call this? A little working nook thingy. And then, yeah, I think that's it for those two rooms or sections of this build. But now we're moving on to the second room. And this one is also just like very similar to the room that was at the bottom. But oh yes, before I forget, I did end up placing an arch around the TV because I felt like the space. So I guess it was not it for those two sections, but I did feel like it was a little bit bland without the arch, and you cannot have enough arches in a Mediterranean style villa. So I just placed an arch around the TV that will be included in the screenshots at this point, or at the point of me filming this. The idea did not come to my mind yet. Only once I was done filming everything, I had the idea to place that arch around the TV. And you may have noticed the difference in the sound. If you did, it's because I actually had to switch rooms. My dogs were being extremely rowdy, and I was just afraid that the audio was going to pick it up. So I switched rooms into a quiet room because they are in everyone's business, and they have something to say about everyone in the neighborhood. And so I don't blame them, but you know I guess I have to give them their space to be little busybodies, and I will do my little thing in a room locked away for an hour. But yeah, so for this room, I just placed down a bed that is from Seasons, I think, and then I saw in some of the inspo photos like they would have a bench at the end of the bed, and then there will just be like a bunch of plants on the end of the bed. But I just placed one, and then I think I do end up placing a tray on the other side later. Once I'm done recording my bowls, I've noticed that I usually go in and I will clutter up a little bit more, um, and realize, oh, but I'm actually not recording this, so I have to explain some of the changes that I make from now until you see like the final screenshots. But I've decided that for the screenshots at the end of the video, I will do them like when I've finally decided that this is the end product, because sometimes even when I'm building on camera, or what I've noticed when I'm building on camera is I'm still unsure and ideas don't always come to you immediately. Also hindsight, you can realize something looked better and then decide to change it back. And also when you're play testing, because I'll obviously build and then record while I'm building, and then I'll play test afterwards. And so in play testing, you may realize that you have something placed in front of, for example, in my last build or my last furnishing video, I placed something in front of the bath, and the Sims actually couldn't use the bath. So when I uploaded that build to the gallery, that pool, for example, was in a different spot than it was previously, and that's just because with the restrictions for playing or in live mode, you may have to change the build. So if you ever see something different, just know that that may be why, and it may also be due to my indecision basically. So for this bathroom, it's one of my, I wish I had more space to make it as grand as I wanted it to be, but I think it still turned out really nice. And so, or really lovely. Maybe I should say really lovely from now onwards. But yeah, I use this bath from Plush Pixels again. In addition to oh my word, I cannot speak. Um, in addition to Plush Pixels, I also use Sixum, a winged llama. The plants, all of the plants you see, they will mostly be from a winged llama. And then Peacemaker for the archers. And who else did I use? Sibyllette, I think, features in this build a few times. And possibly I also found this new creator. They're called Bambi, but I'm not sure if they'll continue to post their CC for free, because I have seen that some of their CC has been locked, but maybe they just have some CC locked. And I'm really trying to not use locked CC, so that the CC that I am using is accessible, because I know not everybody knows how to get their hands on locked CC. So yeah, those are a few of the creators that I used throughout. For example, with the winged llama, it's not only the plants, but also some of the pillows are from them, or from the creator. Then the rugs that I used in the hallways, because I couldn't find one that was long enough, I just decided to use that one twice throughout the hallways. And then yeah, I think that's all. For the shelf here, I do end up changing it. I use a shelf from Plush Pixels. I just felt like it looked a little bit better. Even though I really do I love that Tiny Living shelf. I think it is from Tiny Living. But I end up changing it to something else, basically. Yeah, so for the bathroom as well, I then created this little custom shower. That door is from Swilet. I wanted it to be from wall to floor, basically, that you could look into the shower. And you wouldn't be able to do that with the showers that you get from the game or some of the CC showers that I had. So I thought to just make that. And the shower does work. I did test it with the Sim, and she could get in there no problem. And in this sink that I went with is from Simspiration, I think, and it's the Sargoso. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. CC pack, and yeah, the mirror, and as well as the little soaps or hand dispensers that I placed are from the same CC pack. I decided that when I went for the little sink, I would use the entire or I would use everything else from that kit. But the toilet is just from the game. I'm not sure. I think it may be Seasons that the toilet is from. And then I decided to place down plants as well next to the toilet just to fill up the space. And then I also was like, okay, but you know, if you're using this bulb, you may have need toothbrushes. And I was originally gonna place the toothbrush down from the base game, but I did not like how that looked because there's like colorful toothbrushes in. So I found one from Plush Pixels, which I will place down eventually because yeah, I just wanted to create a look of, okay, if someone is living here, they would use that. I can't believe I just went on a tangent about toothbrushes, but there is the toothbrush that I placed down. Yeah, and then that was all for the bathroom. And now we are moving on to the final room of this build. We have finally made it, people. Oh my word. I cannot believe, like I said, that this build took me 3 days. Now, for the reason why I did not include a bathroom in this build, those windows are the reason. If I would have included a bathroom at the end of the bed, you wouldn't have been able to get to another side of the bed. And I didn't want to, like I said, I wasn't placing those wall arches on the front of the build. So if I had done the bed on the other side, those wall arches would have shown at the front of the build. And I just feel like it would have looked out of place somewhat. And so I decided to keep this hall with the 3 beds. I just liked the way it looked so much. So I decided to sacrifice the bathroom. But there is 2 bathrooms in the build, and I think that's enough for Sims. And like one of them, the one downstairs only has a bath, but you can always like just replace that out with a shower. The reason why I didn't place a shower there was because there's a window on that side. So I guess you could have done, or like I could have done a custom shower for there as well, so that it wouldn't interfere with the window or be covering the window. But that idea just came to my mind, and I'm at a point where I'm no longer changing this bowl. So don't worry, I'm not gonna go in and change it and then you see something entirely different when you download it, even though I did not show that bathroom, but I will be showing it at the end. So I'm not gonna interfere with it. That will be for a different build. I'm already thinking of my next build. If you guys have any ideas of which like design style or interior design I should choose, please let me know. I've been looking at doing something extremely modern with like a lot of open windows where there's like a courtyard in the middle and there's like plants everywhere. But maybe I shouldn't do that because I mean there's plants in this build everywhere. So maybe we should take a break from the plants. But I also am looking at Rococo, which I think that's how you say that. And it is very I think you would either need to build a castle or a chalet, chateau. I was going to say chalet for that kind of style. It's very French, royal, like Bridgerton vibes. Actually, that's the perfect way to describe it. It is Bridgerton. It's very over the top and like I don't know how else to describe it. Maybe if I find a photo or if you just Google Rococo, you'll see what I'm speaking about. And you'll probably think that is nothing like what she was describing, but I am interested in that. I wonder how long that would take me to build because if my dog Victorian took me like weeks to build and furnish, and then I also took like a month break in it, um, how long would that take me to build? I don't know. But I know I would have so much fun. And obviously, the lot size for it would have to be huge, because we would include things like a library and a study and a maybe like a ballroom area if it's a castle. So yeah, but anyways, enough about that. But let me know though, let me know what you guys would be interested in seeing me do. And also, you know, if it is very intricate and like very specific, I would not be able to do it without CC. In like my opinion, I wouldn't be able to achieve the vision that I want. And like I've said in previous videos, I'm committed to the vision. So if you do give me an idea, you can say whether I should use CC or not. But like I said, if it is a very intricate and, you know, you need certain things to achieve the look, then I might need to use CC. So we will see. We will see what I decide on next. I'm excited. I might need to take a little bit of a break after this bowl just to like do something in CAS, because I've kind of been letting CAS slack, but I really do like building. I started playing The Sims to build because yeah, I don't know. I've always been obsessed with interior design. It's not something that I do in my normal life, anything close to what I do in my normal life. So yeah, when I come on The Sims, sometimes all I want to do is build, but it does take me a long time. So yeah, for this room, like you can see, I chose a blue and orange style, but then I changed the orange to be a little bit more muted because I wanted it to be whites and blues rather than an orange in this room. And then because I did create, you know, the other orange room, and I felt like the blue room that is at the bottom was a little bit more understated with the blue inspired bedrooms that I saw on Pinterest. They were a more vibrant blue. So I wanted to do that in this room without it looking grease, you know, like something you would see in a grease inspired build. So yes, oh yes, I forgot to mention, but these little wood beams from Love Struck, I'm so glad that they added that to the game. It just adds so much to the ceilings, and I used it along with the ceiling paint from Horse Ranch. But the only thing about the beams is that if you place them down, and you place a lot of them down, you're gonna see them in love mode a little bit. If you do zoom in, they do kind of disappear, but not entirely. And for some people, like for me, I was already feeling like it was too much, because I actually had placed it in the hallways on upstairs, and then also in the living room after I finished this video, because I wanted to see, I was like curious, but I felt like it was just a little bit too much. And I finally placed the final item of this build, which was this huge mirror from a winged llama. But yeah, I know I didn't explain too much about what I was doing, but here are the preview photos or the final screenshots of the build. This build will be uploaded to my Patreon, and I will include a link of it in the description as well as in the comments. Please let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I achieved the vision that I was trying to create. And also let me know what you want to see in my next video, like I said. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for staying for 50 minutes. If you did, comment something down, comment your favorite food, so that I know that you have been here this whole time with me rambling and explaining, and also not explaining what I was doing in this build, but hopefully it was kind of understandable. If there's anything you're unclear about, let me know, and I will speak to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.